Release the Kraken!
Hey fellow game designers, Ron here with Lame Duck Studios. In this tutorial we're going to look at variables. So what is a variable? Simply put, a variable is just a container for information. Let's say I have a cup. And in that cup I have, I don't know, pencils. Right? So this is my variable, and that variable is called cup. Make a thinner brush here. And then we have an equal sign. Right? And then inside, so we have, pencils in the cup, and then we want to know the value of, or the number of pencils in the cup. So for here I have 3, right? So I can say cup equals 3, or my container with my stuff in it equals 3, right? But this can be whatever, right? This could be cup of, pencils. So I have a coin here, and if I go up to the coin and collect it, I'll end up getting more coins, right? Well, I'm going to store the coin in a variable. So let's go up to my player, blueprint, I'll open up. And inside my player, I'm going to come over to the left, we have variables, and I'm going to hit a variable. And right away we get this red type. This is a boolean, so a boolean variable just holds a yes or a no. That's all it does. But I don't want this to be a boolean, I want it to hold a number. So I'm going to change the type over here by clicking on the little icon, or I can come over to the right and change it here. And I want this to hold a number. So you can store a bunch of different things inside of a variable. Yes and no, integers are whole numbers, floats are precise numbers with decimals, and then you have names and strings and so on. I'm going to choose an integer because I just want a whole number. I'll name this number of coins, so number of coins. And it's important to name your variables things that make sense. That way, when other people look at your code, it makes sense. So, like for example, you can see in the character, the example character has a base turn rate and a base lookup rate. Well, base turn rate is for turning around, and base lookup is for looking up and down. And that's actually right here being driven into the camera control. So this is our turn rate that turns the camera left and right. So yaw, that's what that is, left and right. And then we have the lookup rate, controlling the pitch, and that's up and down, right? So here's my variable for my coins. And all I want to do is every so often, let me go to, I need my event tick. Where are you at? I'll just make one. So I'll say event tick. And I'm going to throw this to the screen. So I'll say print string. Right now the print string is just going to say hello world, but I'm going to plug my coins in. So get coins, and I'll plug that in. It's going to convert it for me, and if I hit compile and play, it's going to spit out a number. Not the ideal of putting things to the screen, but for debugging it's fine. So now when I pick up my coin, I want my coin to go and update the variable that's on my player. So let's go to the coin. I'm going to go up to this overlap event here. I don't need the begin play, I'll get rid of that. So for my overlap, of course I'm going to cast to my player, so cast to third person. Plug in the object. This is just going to keep it from any other object touching it. And the variable that I created is on my player. So variables can be local or global, and actually in Unreal, almost nothing is global. Everything is its own instance. So a local variable only exists on that object. That's what that means. So to get that variable, I have to talk to who it belongs to. So in this case, we're talking to the player, and I have to ask the player, what's your variable? So in this case, the variable is going to be number of coins. So number of coins. So I'm going to get it, and then I want to set it. So if you get a variable that just looks at what's inside, setting it is what changes it. So I'm going to do set number of coins. So that before I can change what's there, I have to know what's there. So I'm going to take my number of coins. I'm going to do a little bit of math. I'm just going to do plus. So integer plus integer, and then however many coins the coin is worth. So in this case, 1 coin. And I'll plug that into here. So now whenever we touch this coin, we're going to get a single coin added to our list here. And it might just be helpful to have the coin disappear, so I'm going to go ahead and say destroy actor. So destroy actor. That way the coin pops off the screen. Okay. And you can see my number of coins has increased. And if I put more coins in the scene, the number goes up. So I'm storing the information of how many coins I have into a variable. And again, you can store whatever kind of information you want inside of a variable. So for example, let me go back to the player here. We can store a yes or no variable for a boolean. So I'll say has coins. I'm going to change this to the red type for boolean. And I'm just going to do another string here. In this case, I'll spit out this one, so get it. And again, the get is just looking at what's currently there. So the current value of my hasCoins variable is false. So this only checks for true and false. So you can see here by default, unchecked is false. And if I run it, it'll say, the number and then false. So it's giving me the number of the first thing we're looking at, and then the second thing is the boolean of do we have a coin that says false. The moment we select the coin, we're going to go and have it check to true. So I'm going to go back into the coin now. Whenever we overlap with the player, we're going to set its hasCoin. So set hasCoin. Now in this case, I don't need to know what the current value is because I'm not updating. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off, and I will just set it here. I'll just hit hasCoin. And if I were to pick up a coin now, it'll say I have one and it's true. And having more than one is still true. And there you go. So that's a very simple look at what a variable is. A variable is just a container for information. And we can use them for just about anything. Almost everything in the game is a variable. Anyway, if you like this kind of video, just let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.